let's get started here. We got the 40 minutes to ourselves here today. I want to start off by saying thank you, FX Street, for having me here again. It's always a pleasure. And just to remind all of you guys who are in here that this is a premium webinar, which means we are going to go into details with a lot of the information, which also means take notes. And if there's any question, ask freely. This is not a webinar where there's like 500 students of mine, as you see on YouTube, attending it, where I can't really get to everyone's question. But here you can. You can ask me questions that you want to ask. So don't be shy. Feel free to ask anything. Okay. So shall we get started? Let's get the ball rolling. All right, so let's do some analysis for pretty much the end of the year going into next year. Okay, hi Gregor, how are you? Okay, so first things first. Okay, I'm sure you guys all been hearing about cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin all day long, like how it's going crazy. Yeah, any of you guys actually participate in cryptos? Yeah, some of you guys. Okay, IOTAs and Bitcoin and all these things. Great fun. Yeah, that thing is like a wild beast. It's like, sitting up on a horse and a black stallion, if I wanted to put it nicely, and hope you can tame it. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's do a quick recap on stuff like that. So Bitcoin is on the, if we look at it on the daily charts, it's starting to look like a Christmas tree. Nice little up move and a down move. So it's something it's done similarly in January of last year as well. Okay, so it's nothing new for Bitcoin. However, the swing size is extremely volatile, which means anyone trading up in these areas has been like damaged really, really badly. Okay. IOTA. IOTA is very similar. Okay. IOTA almost went down to $1 today. Okay. And right now it's back at $3 running at the moment. So end of the year, there seems to be a lot of cashing out. And one thing I want you guys to remember, if you use it as a trading asset, then it's another asset to trade. It's like you trade stocks, you trade Forex, you trade one more asset class. It's just trading. You're going back and forth. Okay? If you are going for the future of cryptocurrencies and you're saying, this is what I want to do, I believe in the system, then technically any coin or anything that you own is not raising in value. It's the same coin that you're always going to have going forward, because until you cannot measure it in stuff, like how much bread you can buy with it, the coin value stays the same. So anyone who's feeling rich from these coins, it's only because they have to come back to US dollars. They have to come back to currency. Okay, so keep that in mind. And the moment it comes back to currencies, it is back in the big boys market. Okay, the players that control U.S. dollars, the players that control pound. So don't forget this concept. To trade it, it's fantastic. You have a lot of pip movement up and down, but to hold on to it and hold it in terms of the future, do not forget that one concept of you only feel rich if you exchange it back to what you're running away from. Okay, which doesn't make any sense anyways. So the whole craze about cryptocurrencies has people a little bit misguided, and everyone's just feeling rich from it without having to understand, well, why was it even made? Okay? All right, so just keep those things in mind. Anyways, we're here to talk about Forex. I just wanted to point that out to you as I get tons of questions from it, like almost 50 per day. So we get crypto questions. So I wanted to lay it out, give my insights on it, so you guys have an idea. You guys understand, as simple as possible what the logic behind it is. Now, Let's take a look at some of the pairs. We've been working on some of the pairs with the elite community, mostly working with pound yen lately. I just closed out my trades like just a few hours ago for pound yen. I had two different positions running, closed them out, scaled them out in pieces, and then finally closed all of them out. I was preferring to have a higher high on this. I still am feeling like it wants to go for a higher high, but looks like it might want to swing down first. So on standby for now. I closed out all the positions. I unfortunately will not take it up to my take profit today on this one. So that was my first position. That was my second scaled in position. I do feel it wants to swing down one more time. So standing by for now. Let's take a look at what some of our students are looking at to see if there is some potential for you guys here as well. We'll look at some daily charts to find out, well, what are we expecting for some of these pairs to do? You guys will also start to see starting next week. You're gonna see our analysis on FX Street's forecast page, which means we will start to forecast where euro is headed, pound is headed, US dollar is headed, in medium to long term, so that way you have a general idea of what we're looking at Forex watchers, all the traders here, versus how you might be trading it or how other firms are looking at it. So that will give you a very strong insight, and I think the forecast section would be great. So we just agreed to join that forecast section, so you will see our firm there as well. All right, so let's have a look. So let's start with long term. Okay, one of my senior traders who trades long term exclusively. Let's see what he's talking about. Okay, he's looking at gold, US dollar index correlation to in the immediate days. Gold is 240, US dollar is daily. He's correlating those both to take some positions. Okay, this is gold on the 240 and dollar index on the daily. Okay, so he's correlating to, he's looking for what looks like a pullback for a buy. Okay, so let's have a look at the dollar index first. Let's get an idea about that. Okay, DXY. There we go. Okay. So he's looking to buy from this. Prices are at this area right now. Okay. So this would be an interesting to see what happens to this trade. This was on 14th of December. He posted it 7 days ago. Looks like this trade should be activated. Yeah, this trade should be activated now for a buy. So currently we have a buy bias for US dollar index, so that would be interesting to see what happens with this. I think this line is lower strike here. Price at 93.60. Sorry, let me just zoom in here quickly. Can get you the exact price. 92 something. Let's see. Reformation test right there. Reformation. Yeah. Okay, so the price is a little bit lower. Okay, it's at this price range. So the buy hasn't happened yet. I wanted to get you guys this price because Dave is one of our senior traders and he's very, very, very good at what he does. A lot of his trades that he does, he ends up with 10:1, 12:1 ratios with his precision anticipation of the markets of what's going to happen next, but not just in a small way, in a big way. So he's like our human cryptocurrency maker. It's like, so decent trade. So that's why I want to share that one with you guys, so you guys can actually take a look at it and follow along. So Let's have a look at what else is going on the long-term side. We've got US dollar correlation as well. It's the same thing. Sorry. What else? Okay, here we go. Okay, so here we are. There's a third pair I'm mentioning in the New Zealand group. The reasons I'm doing this. So, okay, so for the longest time, you got in the previous months we talked about Euro New Zealand on the monthly chart. So let's get you guys some updates on that. Euro New Zealand. Okay. All right. So the entry was from 4,500 more or less, slightly above 4,500, and the targets were approximately 6,400 and 7,400. So 45 is right around here. Entry targets 65, 64. Okay, 64 target reached, and the other one was 7,400. Okay, which is right here, 7,400, exactly right there. So both targets have been reached on them. So this trade is now officially closed. Okay, this was 5 months ago, and we shared this several months ago with you guys also for long term. We generally want to do stuff with FX Street where we post long terms beginning of the year, mid of the year, end of the year. Because not all of you guys are traders, some of you guys are very big investors. We're starting to see more of those people start to come into us. People saying, listen, I'm not a trading type of guy. I've started to realize it. I'm an investor. I want to work. And then the money I get from work, I want to know where to park that money. So we're getting a lot more of those people starting to come in now. So that's why we've added in long-term analysis. Okay. All right. So that's that for that one. Let's take a look at some higher time frame charts. Let me see my software that can spit out some bigger time frame trades. Let's take a look at daily 4-hour charts. See what New Zealand CAD has in play for us. This is a software I programmed to filter out my conditions that I want to see. Okay, but I have to, of course, humanly check it. Okay, so New Zealand CAD is looking for a potential buy. Let's have a look at this. Okay, here's the 4-hour charts. Let's see what this is up to. Let's take a look at the daily first, see what we're looking at here. Okay, so we're looking at a sell coming in. Okay, we're looking at a sell coming in from the daily charts, and on the 4-hour charts, we're looking for any possible place where we can actually get in on this trade. So if we can get in a price somewhere here, that would be ideal. Let me just take a look at the schematics of this. Yeah, a price up in this area is ideal. That would be a decent entry price going forward towards the end of the year. Getting in around, let me get these price numbers here, 89.32 area, stops well above 89.50. Okay, and going in for a lower low on this particular trade. So New Zealand CAD is a pretty decent pair for this. Okay, and for the lower low for the target prices, obviously our stops our exits should be somewhere around this area, which makes the price at 88.90. Let's make that 8,900 to avoid the psychological issue, the psychological number. So 88.90 for precision, 8,900 for a little bit more leeway on that. Okay, so there's a pair right there. Let's take a look at some other ones. Okay, pound CAD. Looks like a lot of CAD pairs are showing up on this thing. Let's have a look. Pound CAD. Okay, Pound CAD, I have a longer term in play for this. Let's have a look at this from the daily. As you can see, my signs here, alarms and everything set. I am trying to get price as high as I can because I want to sell this. So this is actually a longer term play. If you guys can take a look at this on the weekly charts. This is the design of it. I need the price to get up close to the top of this range, basically, and I want to sell it. Now, this targets that you're seeing is my first exit. Okay, you can see the numbers here. It's at 68.28 as my first exit. Entry is at 75.66. Stop losses, well above 78.22, 23 area. So, looking to get in hopefully before the end of this year. If not, it's going to be early into January. This is a simple 2.8:1 trade. It's not big. It depends on your size also. But this can have a potential of going all the way down to 6,000 into early next year. So and once that happens, we're looking at much higher numbers. So what is this? 68.28. If I bring it down to 6,000, yeah, then this becomes a 6R multiple. So okay, so keep these things in mind as well. So pound CAD. So that's the higher time frame thing. Now on the lower time frame, we have some sell light bulbs going off on this. So let's have a look at why. Okay, temporary, the markets are preparing for further drop down. So it's too low right now. We need a pullback that will hold. If that holds, we can get a better price to get in. We want to get in on that. Notice how it looks exactly like the other pair that we saw earlier. What was that? New Zealand CAD. Except that one, the price right now has made a lower low. Okay, let me show that to you again. Here's New Zealand CAD. Notice how price has made a lower low. Same design. It went up sharply for the pullback, and then it made a lower low. But that's not the case on pound CAD. Went up sharply, cannot make a lower low. So this one will have the ability to probably pull back a little bit deeper, if not try to probe these highs. So we can probably get a better price on this one. Or gauge the two together to see when the turning point is going to happen using correlation. So we want to get in on any one of these things for a sell on this to take the next swing down. Okay, next swing down, target areas are going to be approximately 6,900 on this. Stop losses healthily above the entry prices. Hopefully it'll be something like this. Okay, so again, this one would be going into next week. Nothing too late. Keeping in mind, we have Christmas holidays and New Year's and stuff like that. One thing to do not forget, although it's Forex trading is not the same as it used to be around holiday times because it's now much more busy. A lot more big movements are happening, which means these bankers don't care for holidays anymore. They're happy to trade, which is becoming very interesting because there's more liquidity in the market and it's actually moving distances during the holiday season. However, when it moves distances, it makes people jump in. Okay, let me repeat that. When it moves distances, when it does stuff like this, people want to jump in and participate, which is fine. That's how the money is made. However, around the holiday times, your spreads are due to widen. Most brokers will give you a heads up on this. Make sure you check with your broker as well to find out if there are going to be spread widening during the holiday season. So don't get caught by not knowing. Okay, I'm giving you a heads up. A lot of brokers are doing this. My broker isn't participating in this. I work with interactive brokers, so we'll. But I did get messages from, I believe, Owanda and FX Pro and some firms like that saying, expect spread widening. Okay, so just a heads up. Okay. All right, so let's see what else we got. Okay, So we did New Zealand CAD, pound CAD. Now it's Aussie CAD. Take a look at this guy. Now this guy, very similar design. In fact, he's not even reaching the recent low. So the first one was this design. Pulls back sharply, lower low. Pound, and that was New Zealand CAD. Pound CAD is pulls back sharply and is struggling down here. This one is comes down, pulls back sharply, and then he comes down halfway. Okay, which means this is going to have a deeper pullback. We can get a price as high as here, probably in that area if we can get it in. Otherwise, somewhere in this area where it probes out a little bit and comes back in. So that would be a pretty decent place to get in as well. So we'll see. This one going into probably Wednesday or Thursday of next week. Let's have a look at FX Street to see if there is anything supporting CAD into next week. What can make price move at such distance amounts next week? That has to do with CAD. Okay, so let's go to economic calendar. Let's go to next week. All right. So you want to keep track of both US dollar news, CAD news, not to mention next week is pretty much the end of the month, so there's going to be a lot of account closings, bookkeepings, and stuff like that. Let me filter this out. We don't want to see yellows. There we go. Okay, so it's a nice feature that they have here. Okay, so we got some US dollars on Tuesday, some US dollars on Wednesday, US dollars on Thursday. Okay, so we got to keep these ones in mind. There is nothing on Canada. So this will be quite interesting if it works with the US dollar news. It's for jobless claims and stuff like that. What are the distances this thing has to travel? For entry up here, we're looking at 98.30-ish price going down to 97.60. So we're looking at 70 pip movement. Yeah, we do need a news for this. It won't just happen just like that. Okay. So yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. 3 busy days next week for these movements to happen. Okay. All right. And we have one more CAD pair showing up. We got Euro CAD on it as well. Let's have a look at Euro CAD, see what he's saying. Delete all this. Okay. Euro CAD, similar design as New Zealand CAD. It's actually making lower lows. Now this one, on the other hand, looks like he tried an attempt to already do a pullback before going down. However, I don't trust that. I still think it needs to pull back with the rest of its group and come in. Another interesting fact that wherever it's coming from, it's not the higher high. Okay, notice this part in all the other charts is the highest beacon. On this chart, no. This is the highest beacon. This is a lower high, which makes the sell on this pretty much more interesting. Oh, looks like we're getting a pullback starting to come in. That looks good. Let's just check on all of them. Okay, New Zealand CAD. Good. Pullbacks coming in. Very nice. Pound CAD. Very nice. What else do we have? It was Aussie CAD, I believe. Very nice as well. That was faster than I expected. Okay, U.S. markets are open. It's 8:30 a.m. New York City time. Let's have a look at my pound yen. Still hovering around. Okay, so it's a good choice still to close it. All right. So we were at Euro CAD. Let's take a look at this one so we can understand some details of this. Now, this one, like I said, the beacon here is not the highest point in the chart. So let's have a look at the daily just quickly, just to get an idea, see what we're working with. Okay. Okay, so this thing, all right. Okay, so we're gonna need a deeper pullback on all of these things. This thing might go into the following week then, which means NFP and all that stuff on the following week. Okay. Okay. All right. So the way I would trade this one, I would let price get up to as high as 5,200 if I could. Anywhere around 5,200 should be a good entry point for me. I do have some criteria of how I want price to get up there. I don't want price to just shoot up there. I hit the sell there and then I cross my fingers and say, come on, supply and demand. I hope you're gonna, make me money. I don't trade like that. I don't pull the gun like that. I need to see information leading up to it. Okay? So I'd like to see price lead up to it. I want to see price struggle. I want to see inability. And then that would be a decent sell for me from here, taking it down with a potential recent low again, if not lower low down to here. Okay? Down to this guy. Okay, so these numbers, again, entries around 5,200, stops well above 5,280. Take profits around 50 at 5060. Target number 2 going down as low as 5,000. Okay, 1.50000. Okay, a very, very strong number there. So, all right. Okay, is there any specific pair you guys like to see at? On my radar, CAD is flaring up. Okay, we just got USD CAD showing up too. Great. One more CAD pair. Let's have a look at this one. Same design. Barely can cross the lower low. Got a nice pullback. The one good thing I like about that New Zealand CAD, the one, remember that we said it pulled up sharply and then it made a lower low, and then right now he just flared right back up. I sort of like that because I know many people got stopped out from that. I mean, I don't like that they got stopped out, don't get me wrong, but I like the fact that this game was played, and because when this game was played for New Zealand CAD, it indicates there is more buying pressure on that thing, which at the same time, I don't want to choose that pair to be selling on that one. So I don't want that pair to sell. So I'm gonna try to avoid getting onto that New Zealand CAD train for the sell side because of these type of reasons. Notice the analysis, how it's building up. It's not just you look at a chart, oh, hit support resistance, okay, hit the sell, or hit supply and demand, okay, hit the sell. No, 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 no. That's baby stuff. If you do that, you're bound to be a retail trader. Okay, you want to build up. You want to get your skills level as high as possible. You want to tune into what the charts are trying to tell you. Okay. All right. So, in this particular case, we're starting to get a pullback on this, which is good. I do anticipate it to come up to, somewhere around this price. I would like it to be there. So, if we can get in, something like this, that would be ideal. Take it down to the recent low, target number 1, target number 2 down here. So let's get these numbers in. So entry prices somewhere approximately 2,800 for entry prices for me. Stop losses well above 2,850. Take profits, target number 1 is going to be around 2,700. Target number 2, taking it down to 2660, more or less. Preferably 2680 as target number 2. Yeah, 2680. Okay. Okay, so these are your numbers for all of the CAD groups. It's very aggressive, US dollar. Or CAD weakness right now. Oops, not pound New Zealand, it was pound CAD. Yeah, very aggressive. So we stand by on these ones. We'll find out what there is to do. Okay, so if there is no more questions by you guys or any specific pair that you guys want to look at, I will release you guys back into your holiday moments. I thank you all for coming. I thank you FX Street for this webinar again. It's been great. I wish you all a wonderful holiday season, a very Merry Christmas, and a fantastic and prosperous New Year of 2018. Okay, thoughts on gold was exactly what we talked about in the beginning with the US dollar index. It looks like it is a long as XAU USD. Let's have a look here. Okay, let's start from the top. You're talking long term, short term. What's your objective? Long term. Okay. Long term, if we're talking about months, we're due for a sell. If we're talking about short term, weeks on end, we're looking for something like this. Okay. So going into several months, we're looking at a push down to push up, and then going into, mid-year kind of thing, we're looking at stuff like that. All right, guys. So hope all this was useful. Let me know how you guys do on those CAD pairs. If you do follow them, I can always be reached at navin@urbanforex.com. Otherwise, the fastest way to reach is info@urbanforex.com. My team is always on standby to assist if there's anything. Thank you all for attending. Until next time. Cheers. Bye for now.